In the first section of our lecture, we will talk about the malignant disease of the cervix. And we divided this section into three parts. In first, we will talk about the pathophysiology of cervical cancer. Then we will talk about the staging and investigation. And in the third part, we will talk about the importance of staging and disease spread. First, the malignant disease of the cervix. What is the malignant disease of the cervix and how it presents in the patient? Usually, the malignancy of the cervix, it presents as the friable vascular mass on the cervix. So, if you see, this is the specimen removed, or the cervical carcinoma. Here you see it's very, very vascular, friable mass, if you see in this picture. So it's a friable vascular mass on the cervix, and patient usually presents with abnormal bleeding. And this bleeding can be postcoital after intercourse, or it can be intermenstrual, means in between the normal menstrual bleeding, or it post-menopausal. Even the patient who reached the menopause, and if they have bleeding, usually they might have the cervical carcinoma. So it's a friable vascular mass. Patient with cervical cancer must go pelvic examination, which is the visualization of the cervix. The symptoms of the patient with the cervical carcinoma or cervical malignancy, usually they have pain. Pain is more likely when the malignancy is infiltrated into the spinal cord. So patient complain of the back pain. Incontinence of the urine. This incontinence is due to vesico-vaginal fistula. Vesico is for the bladder, it's the fistula, or there is a junction or communication between bladder and vagina. As a result of there is incontinence of the urine, or there is discharge of the urine from the vagina also. Patient will be anemic due to bleeding or blood loss, or the renal failure. Kidneys fail or renal failure is how? Due to blockage of the ureter, ureteric blockage. Due to the growth of the cancer, there is pressure on the ureter, or it may invade into the ureter also. That causes obstruction of the ureter and leads to the renal failure. Now, the pathophysiology of the cervical cancer. Cervical cancers are usually the squamous cell carcinoma, and mostly squamous cell, and some of the cases are also adenocarcinoma. Here, this is the normal, this is the basal layer or the bottom layer. Then we have the mid zone and the superficial zone. That's the normal epithelium. That's how the squamous epithelium look in the normal individual. So normal. Once there is changes start, then it leads to, this is the mild. From the normal, now there is mild dysplastic changes. Then we have moderate, severe, then actually carcinoma in situ, and then cancer. And in this cancer, you see there is extensive growth of cells, and these are also infiltrating the basal layer of the epithelium or skin, dermis layer. So now actually it's the third layer, tertiary layer, or it's the actual cancer here. Now it's invasive carcinoma invading the skin. So normal epithelium, slowly the changes starts, and there is mild, moderate, severe, then we have carcinoma in situ, and then the actual carcinoma is this. Then there's primary prevention, then we have secondary prevention, and then third is tertiary prevention. In the primary prevention, there should be prevention of intraepithelial neoplasia, prevention of cancer. In secondary, we have prevention or treatment of intraepithelial neoplasia or prevention of cancer. And then in the third, tertiary, there's actually treatment for the cancer which have adjuvant therapy treatment. So this is how the changes takes place in the squamous epithelium, and that leads to the carcinoma or cervical cancer. Next, staging of the carcinoma. This is the normal cervix. This is the transformation zone. Transformation zone is the zone at point where the columnar epithelium and squamous epithelium combine or meet. That's the transformation zone. Then we have endocervix, is the inner layer of the cervix. This is the ectocervix, outside of the cervix. Now, stage 0, slowly the cancerous cells start appearing. This is the transformation zone in the transformation zone. Then stage 1, there are cancers within the cervix. Here again, it's cancerous cells start growing, stage 1. In stage 2, cancer spread around the cervix and into surrounding tissue. Then it goes into the surrounding tissue also. Stage 3, cancer spread into the pelvis now. And then in stage 4, cancer spread to the other body organ. So in staging of the cancer, it starts in the transformation zone, is stage 0, and then it goes to within the cervix, then it goes area around the cervix, into the pelvis, and into the surrounding structures. Again, this is the same. Invasive diagnosed by microscopy, deepest less than 5 millimeter, largest less than 7 millimeter. In stage 1A is less than 3 millimeter, less than 7 millimeter. In stage 1B, less than 4 centimeter. That's just the measurements of how big usually the growth or cancer is in stage 1A and stage 1B. In 1A is less than 3 millimeter and 7 millimeter, and in 1B it's less than 4 centimeters. So slowly it's increasing in size. Next, in stage 2, without parametrial invasion, and in stage 2A, visible lesion less or equal to 4 centimeter. 2B is now parametrial invasion. Here, this rounding. This very clear in the diagram also. Now it is going into the parametrial tissue or tissue surrounding the cervix. Next, 3A involves, this is the stage 3. In 3A, it involves lower third of the vagina, no extension to pelvic wall. 3B, extension to pelvic wall and hydronephrosis. Now the kidneys are involved also, and hydronephrosis occur. Then in 4A, spread to the adjacent organs and distant organs. So 4 stages are all depending on what's the level, if it is limited to the cervix, or it is into the parametrial tissue, or if it is involves the pelvis, or it involves the distant organ. Now, investigation and importance of the staging. Assessment of the stage usually is done by the FIGO system, which is the system developed by International Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Biopsy is required to confirm the malignancy. An MRI of the abdomen and chest x-rays are performed. So here if you see, this is the stage 0, which is carcinoma in situ. The 5-year survival is about 100%. If there is stage 1, the 5-year survival rate is 85%. If stage 2, 5-year survival is 65%, stage 3, 35%, and in stage 4, 5-year survival is very, very less, about 7%. Stage at presentation in usually is in first stage is 47% patient present with first stage, 28% with the second stage, 21% with the third stage, and 4% with the fourth stage. So it's important that we should diagnose the disease early, because if it's only 4% the patients at the time of diagnosis, they are with stage 4. So that's good. It means that a lot of people are diagnosed early, and the earliest the diagnosis, the better is the prognosis and better is the 5-year survival rate. So only 4% of the patients who are diagnosed with cervical cancer are at the stage 4, and their 5-year survival is just 7%. Then rectovaginal examination is also performed in the under anesthesia for finding tumor size and if there is any fixity and vaginal involvement. So investigation and importance of staging is very, very important. Staging, early diagnosis. Diagnosis is done by pelvic examination, by MRI, chest x-ray, and also by rectal vaginal examination, which tells us what's the size of the tumor or whether it's fixed or whether the vagina is involved or not. Next is spread of the cervical cancer. The spread is mainly lymphatic spread. These are the lymph nodes in stage 3C. Usually the cancer spread to the lymph nodes, and once it leads to the lymph node, it's spread by the lymphatic fluid throughout the body. So lymphatic spread is through parametrial nodes, internal iliac nodes, obturator nodes, external iliac and sacral nodes. And then we have sentinel lymph nodes. Hematogenous, it is spread of the cervical cancer is also by the bloodstream, and it's by direct implantation also. So different modes of spread are important. It can be through the direct spread, by the lymphatic spread, and through the bloodstream. So that was all about the cervical cancer, how it presents, how it spread, and how important is the staging and what's the effect of the early diagnosis and staging on the prognosis. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.